Hey, sorry about that, Credit Cleanse family.
Hey guys, we apologize for that. Go ahead, let everybody know that we are back in this thing. Take this time, share, tag, real quick. Let everybody you know out there know that we are back in here. We do apologize about that. Mm-mm. All right, and we just gonna give it a minute to get everybody back on here that was on here. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, Justin. Hey, Facebook user. And like I said, if you know you had a friend on here, go ahead, tag them back to get them back on here. Share. We do apologize about that.
That's a car. You did that on purpose to avoid
It
the extra
wasn't
zeros.
me.
Nah, it was me. It was my fault. It was my fault. You just gonna throw me under the bus like that? Yeah, my bad, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I tried to switch over and I didn't know how to remove myself.
All right. So, yeah, tag the people that y'all know that was on here listening so they can get these gems. Share if you need to. Share it again. For those of you that do share to y'all pages, thank y'all so much. That definitely means a lot to us because one thing out here, we want everybody out there to know that you can win in these streets and you don't have to go and take a $5,000 course just to get this type of information. We are here and we love
Facts.
to give, and pour into people. All right, so we are gonna get started. We already did payment history. Got y'all there. We have done the utilization. We know how to do that right now. We also went ahead and did the credit age, and now we were into credit. Oh, we did credit mix, and now we're into the hard inquiries. So that's where we stopped at.
So when it anytime that you seek credit with the lender or a creditor, you're going to have that indication on your credit profile, and that's a hard inquiry. Now, if you want to keep those, let's say that you're car shopping and you want to keep these to a minimum, go to your bank, preferably a credit union, and get pre-approved with them. If you're pre-approved with them, they're actually going to cut you a check for the amount that you're pre-approved for. That's one inquiry we're dealing with. Now you can go car shopping versus actually going to a car lot. If you go to a car lot, guys, this is what happens. They're going to shop around with all of their preferred lenders and they're going to get the best rate for them. That way they can tack on the extra interest so they can make more money off.
Mm.
So you really didn't get that 8% from, throw a name out there, Ally Bank. They may have actually offered you like 5. And now that car lot put on that extra 3 so they can make some more money.
All right. So one thing also when it comes to the hard inquiries, you saying, okay, well, I see that y'all have a lot of credit cards. So how are y'all getting all those credit cards and not if y'all getting so many, you're telling me that you get so many that it's automatically gonna start denying you. How did you do it? Okay, well, guys, we understand how credit works and we understand what the lenders or creditors are looking for. So, for example, let's say I wanted to get a card from Chase, right? Well, Chase is going to um, pull from Experian. So I look at that. That's what I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna look how many have I done on Experian already. Okay, if you haven't done more than 4, all right, that's the one that I want to go to. Also, guys, with Chase, there is a 5 and 24 rule, meaning if you have opened up 5 new accounts within 24 months, they're automatically going to deny you. They don't care how good your profile is.
Fact. So basically, what she's telling you is, when it comes to building your credit profile, it needs to be done strategically. Once you have enough accounts, Chase needs to be one of the very first ones that you go to, because Navy. So let's say that you are able to go to Navy Federal or maybe even the Capital One. They're going to be more lenient. They're going to be more flexible when it comes to those new accounts versus a Chase. So since Chase is bougie, we got to go there first.
Right. So I hope y'all caught those gems there because we just told y'all what they use and how how much it takes before you're gonna get denied no matter what your profile is. So hitting them up first.
If you didn't catch it, I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth because I did mess up, y'all. I just kicked us off the whole thing. So if you're gonna build your profile, again, Chase needs to be one of the very first places that you go to once you get established. But they have a 5 and 24 rule, meaning that you can't have more than 5 new credit cards or 5 new revolving accounts in the past 24 months. Any more than that, they will deny you. So we're gonna go there first. Now, because it's 3 bureaus, these are looked at as 3 separate companies. So actually, you can multiply that 4 times 3 when it comes to those slots. You don't want to use any more than 4 inquiries. Looks like it's high risk. So now, if I know my first 4 accounts all pull from Experian, cool. I can max that 4 out. Let's say I get 4 cards. Now I can go to TransUnion, turn around and do the same thing. So that's how you actually maximize getting all of those credit cards without running up too many inquiries all across the board.
Correct. All right. So we are going to continue. Like I said, please, if you see somebody that's on here that was on here that isn't on here before, go ahead and let them know that we are back on. Also, this definitely means that y'all need to make sure that y'all have y'all notifications on Facebook for those type of technical difficulties that we have. Now, if you are on our Facebook credit cleanse, then you will just be notified that we are back live.
Also, guys, if you have any questions, please put those in the chats, especially if you can remember them.
All right, so moving on.
Yeah, so we did build that. That is your 850 score. If you do the math, that basic 300, which is a given, at 192.5, and that's for your payment history, at 165 points for the good utilization, at 82.5 points for that credit age, 55 points for your credit mix, and 55 points for your hard inquiry, and that is your 850 score.
Yes, yes. So if you're wondering how do you get there, we just told you. So now, if we can get this thing back to 27, I am going to still give y'all the sauce. And if y'all have any questions, please place them in the chats right now so that we are able to get to them. Do, 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 do.
All right, I do remember a couple questions from the chat before while you guys are coming up with the questions that you have now. Donna, you said that you have 11-year-old card and you recently opened up one last year to start rebuilding. And you said, I think you were asking, is that a bad thing? No, that is not a bad thing. Because just because you have that one account that's well established, you still have to build your overall credit report. So at the end of the day, we have to build it. And then once you have enough cards, just let it season and let it catch up. And the older that it gets, the stronger your profile will be, and ultimately the higher your score will be. Um, Question, in your opinion, what do you think is better, a line of credit or a term loan? Honestly, neither is better than the other. They're actually going to be good for different reasons. Term loan is like, that's going to be great because now you actually have a certain amount that you're going to be given, and you know how much you're going to have to pay back. You can pretty much measure it, how long it's going to take you to pay, how long you're going to actually take to pay back. When it comes to a line of credit, those are good because you can keep reusing it. The interest may be higher or it may not. It really just depends on the set of the circumstances. They're going to be good for different situations. So it's really not better than the other. Honestly, if you can have both, you need to get both.
Right. So when I look at the line of credit, I look at it kind of like as if it's another credit card, because you don't, with the line of credit, you don't have to use it all at once. You can ration it out. You can take, like, let's say that you had 10,000 on there, you can decide, okay, I only need 5,000 right now to do what I have to do, and then only pull out that 5,000, and it goes straight into your bank account. That's what a line of credit does. So with your revolving credit cards, you're swiping, or you can get a cash advance. But with your line of credit, you just withdraw and it goes into your bank account.
And you have two different types of like lines of credit as well. Some of them are going to have like it's going to like net 30 terms or net whatever terms. It means that you're going to have to pay that back at the end of the month, or you're going to have to pay that back like within 30 days or something like that. And even if it's not, so even if it comes to like a minimum payment, you may pay more for a monthly payment than you would a term loan. So that might make the term loan better. The only downside to a term loan is if you got 10K and you've paid back 5, you can't use that 5K that you've already paid back. So it's like the downside is you got to take the good with the bad when it comes to that.
Yes, yes, yes. Any other questions on here?
So how do I find what card pulls from where for hard inquiries? So like, how do you find out who pulls from where when it comes to hard inquiries? That is really going to be experience, and unless you have a cheat sheet.
Right. And if you are part of the Credit Cleanse Elite family, then you should be utilizing the files in our group, because there is a secret lender group in file that's in there to tell you what cards pull from what.
To give you a little bit of game, said I think a term loan is one-time money, whereas a line of credit is repeat money. Facts. So don't sleep on term loans though, because let's say that you only qualify for 5,000 right now for a term loan. Once you pay that off, they'll offer you, even if your income hasn't changed or your business revenue hasn't changed, if that's what we're talking about, you could probably still qualify for a higher loan. As a matter of fact, you're probably going to qualify for a higher loan. The more credit you have, the more credit that you can get. So the more that you can show them that you can pay off a certain amount, they'll keep issuing you more, especially when you go to the same lender. That happened to us guys. We started off with like a few thousand, then it got up to like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 figures, like easy. And we did it all like within, what would you say, about a year's time?
Less than a year.
I was trying to be modest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, less than a year. Like Keem said, I wouldn't sleep on the term or like the line of credit. With both of those, like both of those, you can ask for a credit limit increase, but here's the also a difference too. If you know that your utilization is already at 30%, then of course you want that term loan. Why? Because the term loan is not counted into your utilization. That's the whole different part. That's the installment category. But if you have a line of credit, let's say that that's your biggest thing on there, and you take out or pull out that whole 10,000, right? Now your utilization just went sky high. So depending on how much credit you actually have, that can tank your score until you pay it back in there. So you have to weigh out all those variables as well. A line of credit, I love it because you can keep reusing it and you can ask for a credit limit increase on it as well. But also when it comes to the personal side, then you need to make sure you still keeping below the 30% so that you don't tank your score.
Big facts, big facts. I hope y'all picking up what she putting down.
Any other questions on there for us?
Yes, it said, so if I have a high limit credit card, can I make purchases and take my time to pay them off as long as the utilization remains under 30%? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you have a high limit credit card, let's say 20K, 30% of that is be like 6,000. So if you need to make a $5,000 purchase for your business, or well, we're not even on business. If you need to make a $5,000 purchase and you need to pay that off slowly, you can, and you're still under that 30% mark.
Right.
Where you're at that 30% mark.
But please take into consideration of you paying it back over time. You know what the interest rate is on that card.
Facts.
Okay, so you need to take that into consideration as well. If you know you have 26% as the interest rate for keeping a balance on there, it may not be the card that you want to keep that balance on there. Continue, you know, you want to pay it off as quickly as you possibly can. The thing for when it comes to credit, guys, I look at it like this. This is to help you scale. Okay. This is not something that you just put your whole life on and then think that you're going to slowly pay it off. And now it takes you 14 years to pay off $10,000 and you didn't pay 20,000 in the interest. No, you use credit responsibly. That's kind of why a lot of us tend to get into the predicaments of now it's maxed out and I can't even pay it back. Now you think credit is, oh, it's bad. I don't even want to deal with it. No, if you are using it responsibly, like I said, use it for your bills. When an emergency happen, of course, pay it back over time. Or maybe you just started a business, you don't have business credit yet, so you're going to utilize your credit, right? But you know, if you go and get $5,000 worth of inventory that you need, that you're going to be making 10,000 back, right? So then you can put the 5,000 back on there, plus whatever the interest is for the overtime that you used it, and you still made a profit, right? Use it that way. Do not just depend on your credit and be like, okay, well, I want to go to the movies today, so I'm going to use this, but I know I'm not going to pay it back because I really didn't have that money to pay it back. Now you're going to fall into that same thing. That's why we call it generational poverty, generational curses. That's when you fall into that pattern. Oh, I'll pay it later. Oh, I'll pay it later. And later becomes never. Have a plan when you're using credit.
Facts. And based on what Kyra just said, it sounds like you should have, in a scenario, you probably would have been better off getting a $5,000 loan. So you know exactly what's happening. You know how much it's going to be, how much you have to pay back every month, how much is going to interest, how much is going to principal, and how long it should take for you to actually be done with the whole situation. Sometimes those loans is a blessing because we can't get wrapped up in the credit card game.
I'll read it. Hi, what does the suggestion to talk to a tax consultant curtailing in regards to paying off a credit card that went into collection status. I have seen written on a credit card statement in the fine print as a disclaimer, and as well as in speaking with a representative from a reputable agency, that if you pay $600 of a credit card balance that was higher than that, that I need to check with the tax consultant to check on. Okay.
Ramification. So
Thank you, Phil.
basically what you that's, and I was reading it and I was thinking about it. So when it comes to that, that is a tax question, and the reason why. So when it comes to your credit, we're going to ask the question like, hey, should I pay off this collection? Is this going to help my credit at all? Now, the reason why that could be like a tax ramification, because if you pay that, that may or may not be counted as income. Again, we are not tax professionals. Please consult with your tax professionals or CPAs when it comes to that type of stuff. But that's really what it boils down to. They may count that as income, and now you
Send
may
you a
have,
1099.
yeah, now you may have to pay twice. You pay 600, and you might have to pay taxes on that same money that you owe. But again, we we are not tax professionals, so please consult with yours.
But I'm gonna say when it comes to collections, um,
Like on the credit side.
yes, on the credit side, when it comes to collections, before you try to make any payment, first thing that you should be doing is making sure that it's validated. So you should be sending out a form to them, or just a simple letter just stating, hey, are y'all even able to collect on this debt? Are they licensed in your state? Do they have the original documentation, and do they have the contract from the original creditors to them saying that they're giving them all rights to collect on that debt? Like, you need to be making sure you take those steps first before just putting the money on that. Because in the same scenario, let's say that you needed to rebuild your profile, that $600 that you was going to use for the collection, you could have used to got you 2 secured cards and start rebuilding your profile. And at the same time, you could be disputing that. And then if they're not legally able to collect on that debt, now they have to take that off your credit report altogether. Push come to shove, if they are able to collect, guess what you also could have done? You could have had an arrangement with them, send a letter, or even put it on the back of the check. We go over that a lot of times. I'm not going to go into it today, but saying that, hey, if I make this payment, that you're going to delete this off all 3 of the bureaus. So it's little things that you need to know there before you just put your money onto that collection. And the reason being, on when everybody that uses Credit Karma, those are Vantage scores. So that's why you have a different score from Credit Karma versus when you actually go get it a pool, because they're using FICO. With the Vantage scoring model, you paid that collection. Guess what? Your score climbs on up. You did it, girl. But guess what happens on FICO? FICO, all they did was like, okay, now it went from unpaid to paid. We're going to take unpaid off of there, put paid on there. Guess what happens to your score? Nothing. Because it's still a collection. It's still a negative impacting account that's on your credit report.
Big facts. And that was, you kind of took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say that, yeah, before you pay a collection account, understand, if you don't, like Howard said, if you don't have anything in writing and you just pay it off, yeah, you paid it off and your debt to income ratio went down, but it's not going to help your score at all. Your score is still going to be the same. It doesn't matter if you have a collection on your profile. Hear me and hear me now. If you have a collection on your profile, it doesn't matter if it's $1 or $100,000. It's going to affect your credit the same way. The same way. It doesn't matter if it's $0 or $10,000. It's going to affect your credit the same way. We have a lot of hurt feelings calling us and saying like, "Hey, I paid off this collection. It didn't help my credit," because it's that status is what is hurting you. It's not the amount. It's the fact that that status is on your report. And another thing, before you go paying these people all willy-nilly, like Kyra said, you need to make sure they're actually licensed and bonded to collect in your state. Also, you need to understand things like unjust enrichment. Like, okay, Kimo, what is that? So if I can't purchase, so let's say somebody had a $1,000 debt. You shopping with Kyra and you owe her $1,000. Kyra writes it off on her taxes, right? And she sells it to me for $10. Like, hey man, look, I'm done with this. You can buy this debt from me for $10. I can't go after you for that full $1,000. That's called an unjust enrichment. Look up that term. But if you don't even know this type of stuff, then you don't need to just jump out there just trying to, okay, I'm going to pay this off and be done with it. We got a method for that. And if you've been following, the Credit Cleanse fam, we done gave you the sauce of how you can actually finesse them to deposit one of your checks to get it deleted off your credit report.
Yes.
And it does work.
Yes, and we see this all the time, guys. We have clients that get checks in the mail from the CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial what?
Protection Bureau.
Yes.
Yeah, they changed
I went blank for a second. But they get checks from them and they be like, wait, is this a real check? Yes, because you have rights. And when they violate your right and keep on violating, you get rewarded for that. We have FCRA attorneys that will go and sue them on your behalf, and you get it deleted now off your credit report, and also you getting a check. That's a win-win all the way around.
Okay. Seeing some more questions. We're really not talking about business tonight. We're on the personal side.
A child bill credit.
Yeah. When it comes to your child building credit, it really is going to depend on what lender you're going to. Ultimately, like, quick answer, it depends what lender you're going to.
Yes. As soon as I say, to me, a good answer would be like once they're teenage, you want to help them build, because now they're finna go into adulthood. I see people all the time put their 2 and 3-year-olds. That's a long time for them to be on there, and it's still not their own credit profile. And remember, the things are always changing. So now they still take into consideration not what you placed on there, but what they have of their own. So with FICO scoring model, it takes 6 months and 2 updates to actually get a credit score. Okay. So to help that, instead of them having to have 6 months out before they actually get a score, piggybacking off of us, meaning that I take a card that I know I'm going to keep under 30% and I let them get that history. Here's another hack. If it's American Express or Discover, they don't get your back history. So if you had that card 14 years, they don't get it. They only get what from the time that they're placed on there. Other cards, they get the back history. So you want to go for those. Be careful when you're doing the American Express and Discover. But by them piggybacking off there, it generated a score in the system. So now you can go and get them a Capital One Quicksilver or Discover It type of card. And now they can start building credit on their own without getting denied in the beginning, like a lot of us do.
Big facts. Another question is, how much are the coaching calls this month? So if we're talking about the personal side, if you need a strategy session, you want us to create like you a stylized plan to get you from A to B, it's $97. If we're on the business side, it's going to be $197. And with that $197, you should easily 100x that. So based off the information and the knowledge that we give, you should easily get 19,000. So. Speaking of taxes, for someone want to sign up with Credit Cleanse, how much is the sign-up fee? And do you all know of a reputable company to file taxes? Credit Cleanse. Right now, I would say go with one of the big boys. There's nobody we want to personally give a cosign to. At least not, I don't. Kyra got her own network as well. So I don't know if it's anybody that she would want to co-sign, but especially with all of this child tax credit stuff that would happen and the stimulus, all of that's new. So I would want to go with somebody that's been in business for a while that can help you navigate those waters. This ain't no regular year, y'all.
Yes. So even if you go to a small company, make sure that they're the ones that always get the recertifications, that they're always taking the classes and courses to make sure that they stay up to date. You don't want somebody that they've been doing it 5 years, but they haven't done any type of recertification trainings except for the minimum that is required to get, certified again so that they can do taxes. One person that I actually would recommend would be Crystal Franklin. You can look
Facts.
her up.
My bad, Crystal. My bad.
Crystal Franklin, she is good at what she does and she goes above and beyond. So she's going to make sure that she's maximizing what you will get back. She's also going to be real with you and truthful with you. She's not going to fake no numbers. Okay. So if you're looking for that kind of stuff, no.
Yeah,
But she
she ain't
goes
the
by
one.
the book, but she knows her stuff. So if it's something out there that can get you a little bit more that she see that you're doing, then she's going to tell you, hey, go ahead and send this to me so I can put this on here because you really could be getting this instead of this.
Being corrected. I will co-sign Miss Crystal. Miss Crystal, I'm sorry if you're seeing this. Miss Crystal is definitely good at what she do. And again, like I said, that was originally part of Kyra's network, and I was introduced through her. It's a question. I received a letter from a collection account offering 40% off the overall bill. What can I say to the creditor? So, first thing I would say to them is I would want them to validate this particular debt. Uh, please prove to me that you're actually licensed and bonded to collect in my state and that you have rights to this particular debt. And also, while you're launching this official investigation, please remove this from my Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion credit report. So tell them, hey, show me you are who you say you are. Show me that you can really do this and that you're licensed and bonded. And by the way, while you're doing that, get it off my credit report, please. And thank you.
Yes, yes. Any other questions out there for us?
Kelly Seals, you are very welcome. But you mentioned several facts that I was unaware of as the topic I asked. I have made sure to write these down, and I'm grateful for for your platform on the subject matter. You are welcome. We appreciate you as well.
Yes.
When it comes to those type of things, we do try to answer them to the best of our ability while also staying in our lane.
Now we got you on credit all day.
All day, all day.
Personal business, we got you. Um, any other questions?
Any questions? Any questions, guys?
If you're on here, I did go ahead and post the link. If you click on there, you can schedule either a free credit review if you want us to handle your everything that's going on your credit profile, or if you know that you want to do this yourself. There's one that's on there that's called Mindset. Go ahead and click on that one, and we'll actually put together a plan to show you like how you can do it yourself. And if you are jumping over into the business, we have a business consultation on there that you can click on so we can begin building that business credit and getting this OPM.
Big facts, big facts. And before we leave out, guys, I want to leave you. I want to leave you with something, just because Kyra mentioned mindset. So when it comes to the mindset, guys, don't be afraid to invest in your business. Whether that be coaching, whether that be taking courses or buying books or whatever it is, you're not going to YouTube your way into success. If that was the case, we'll all be millionaires. I'm just saying. Again, and if you're not willing to invest in your business, you can't expect anybody else to. And if you're not willing to invest into your future, don't expect to be successful. Don't try to penny pinch your way into being successful, because it's not always going to work. When it comes to credit, like, to the people that we hang around or the people that we're tapped into, we're still babies when it comes to this. To some of y'all like, hey, y'all fire, y'all the truth. But it's like we spent a lot of time and energy even just to be babies to people like our coach and some of the people that's in our network. So if we put, I would say,
No, I was just gonna say, and even though we babies, that don't mean that we just started this.
no, we big
No,
babies. But I'm just
we
saying, like,
years in this, but
yeah,
we
and
still
it's
are babies because they're
we put
decades
our
in
years
this.
in. We in credit, we're a 3-year-old baby. And you have some people that's full adults. They've been in it for 25 years. So my whole point is, don't think you about to catch our 3 years in 2 to 3 months. I don't care how many courses you take. I don't care how many lives you come up to credit cleanse. It's like, yo, we put a lot of time, energy, and effort. Some things were taught to us. A lot of it, like the bulk of it, like almost 80% of what we know is through trial and error. It's through trial and error. So save yourself some time. Don't save yourself some money, because you can always make money. You can't always make more time. Save yourself some time and hire a professional. And if you don't want to rock with credit cleanse, that's cool. It is what it is. But don't save yourself some time and invest in yourself, whether it be on the personal side or the business side.
Thanks.
My name is Jakeem Chambers, and I approve this message. So hit that link, y'all. Schedule that mindset call so we can get you where you need to be. End of the day, ain't none of us here because we just like credit like that. We need it. Keep it real. We need it.
Yes, this is every day. Guys, you can have cash, and I don't know how many of you but had this scenario, but you can have the cash on hand and that's still like, no, we still need to pull your credit. They
Facts.
don't care that you have the money right there. They still want to pull your credit.
Oh yeah, and to all you Dave Ramseyites, you got to understand like what the information that you're getting, because some people was like, well, I'm not going to use credit. I'm just going to use cash for everything. That's fine. So let's say that if you make 60K a year, right? As a household, you make 60K a year. Even if you spend 50 and save 10, if you own a house that costs 160K, that's going to take you 16 years to get. You've been saving 10,000, but what if you had an emergency? I mean, that never happens though, right? That means we ain't never have to tap into our savings because some unfortunate event, we have to help pay for a funeral, or we got a family member going through something, we got sick, and now we need that money to help pay our bills. That never happens, right? That information does not work anymore. You cannot save yourself. You cannot save your way until like buying a house in these days. Like these days, can you do it? Yeah, but it's very unlikely. It's like extremely unlikely to buy a house cash. We talking about like $200,000. Fix your credit. Why wait 15, 16 years to save up when you can fix your credit, buy a house, and now 15, 16 years it's already paid off? I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Or you could have then bought your home and an investment property. So now the investment property is paying for the home.
Hey, you know what's crazy? I was talking to my brother, and he an old school cat. He likes to buy cash cars, and we were just chopping up about how much money he spent fixing those cars. And I'm listening to the numbers. I'm like, bro, like, don't you know you could have just bought a car off the lot for all of that maintenance on your vehicles? It's like, yeah, man, I had to spend 4,800 on this. I had to spend like $1,000 for an air compressor. I'm like, man, that's crazy. Those are crazy, crazy numbers. You can't do nothing these days without credit. Not even rent now. Even jobs. Even jobs don't want to rock with you if you don't have good credit.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Oh, okay. I want to get this gonna be my last little gem that I give y'all guys
Your
tonight.
last titty bit.
Yeah, this is my last titty bit. All right. So for those of you that have a great savings on there, like I know some people they have 20, 30 plus $1,000 in their savings account, but it's just sitting there, right? Why not use that as collateral and get a line of credit?
Hello.
So now let's say you had 20,000 that's sitting in your savings, right? You can ask them for a line of credit based on that. And after, if this is your first one, they're going to give you either up to that amount or a little bit more, right? But as if it's your second one or something like that, or you asking for a credit limit increase based on that, then they're going to give you 3 to 10 times more than what you even have in your savings account. Now, okay, so let's say it is 20, right? Let's say that it is three times that. So what's that? 60. So you have 60,000 right there. We all know what is really never loses its value is real estate, right? So why
Facts.
you can't
On
use
average,
that,
yeah.
yeah, to go and purchase either some land or purchase new builds, some townhomes, a duplex or whatever, a fourplex, whatever. And now that's making you money. So now you can put what you spent, the down payment or whatever, you can put that once you make it back, put it back into your savings, but now you're still making money instead of just letting that money sit there and do nothing because they're not going to pay you. I don't care who you banking with and what they saying. Oh, if you have this amount, we're going to give you 0.2% or whatever. It's not going to add up with what you could possibly doing, even if you just used it for a line of credit. Now you got 3 to 10 times that amount. Oh, but maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I don't know how to create generational wealth. So my kids can eat off of this, and my kids and my kids can eat off what I'm doing today. Okay, I'm done.
You done? uh, I want to leave you guys with something as well. And this is just all about, I mean, your mental. I mean, your mental. Kyra's giving y'all that physical, actionable stuff that you can do. I want to give you another way of looking at things. Don't be afraid, or don't feel like when we talk about leveraging credit, don't feel like that's like a hill that you yourself can't climb. Let me let you in on a secret. Guess what, y'all? You've already been leveraging your credit. Well, how, King? So if the only way that you can get into a rental is by having good credit, did you not leverage your credit in order to secure a roof over your head? If you use your credit to go onto a car lot and purchase a vehicle, did you just not leverage your credit in order to get into that vehicle? Same thing works with credit cards. Same thing works with loans. That's called leveraging your credit, right? Now, what we have to do is master this. It's like, okay, how can I leverage this to make me money now? Not to get things, but to get money now. So I just want y'all to look at it like that. You know what? I have been doing this already. I just need to do it better. I just got to practice more.
Right. Now, you using your credit, you leveraging it, and it's purchasing the things that you enjoy. So if you want to be at like you want to go to Cosmo and you don't want to pay out of pocket, well, the key to that is like, what can I do?
You sound like Wizzy.
What can I do that's going to pay for this trip? Oh, pay my bills on time? Okay.
Facts.
So yes, I want us to start, like Keem said, thinking of it that way. That is how the wealthy think. Let's not think anymore like a consumer. Instead of, oh, let me just swipe, swipe, swipe. I'll think about it later how I'm gonna pay for it. No, that's when you keep repeating that cycle. Think of it as, okay, what can I do today that's gonna pay for my tomorrow?
Facts. And honestly, knowing what we know now, like the amount of like information, knowledge, relationships, the network, if we want to just like, hey, you know what, we're not gonna do credit cleanse anymore. We're just gonna focus on ourselves. Yeah, we can live like a really good life. We can be good. But what does that do for the person that's next to you? I don't know about you, but have you ever been have you ever been to a place and you were sitting down to eat and you can see somebody that's close to you and they're not eating and they're looking at you and you can tell they're hungry? Like that don't bother you, that don't make you uncomfortable? Or that's kind of how we feel when it comes to this like credit stuff and this information. It's like, man, yeah, we can keep it for ourselves and we know, but what does it do for the person that I know is working a 9 to 5 and still don't have enough money to pay their bills and support their family? Like, what do I know? How does that help the person I know have a lot of potential, but they just don't have the education, or they may not have the network? Like, I
Mm.
mean, yeah, and it's I don't know, it's an abundance of selfish people out here. We are like, I ain't gonna say we're the poor righteous teachers. We're not poor, but Yeah, we really in this. I promise you, we are not in credit repair for the money. If you want to get in credit repair, please don't do it for the money. Please do it because you're interested in financial literacy, and you have like a heart to help people. Because we've almost quit 1,000 times over, like 1,000 times over. And if it wasn't for the lives that we're impacting, if it wasn't for the fact that we get excited when somebody closes on a house, if it wasn't for the fact that we get excited when somebody get a credit card, I love it when you get the bank's money because when you win, I feel like we won.
Yes.
We won. If that doesn't excite you, this is not the industry for you. If you just want a bag, like yo, just okay, call us and we can show you how to do that. Like we have people in our network to do a little bit of everything, from real estate to stocks and all this other stuff. You just want a bag, do that. Don't hop in this industry thinking that you're just gonna make a lot of money. You can, but that can't be your focus. That's the crazy part.
Right. But hopefully you are in it because utilizing the things that you learn with financial literacy, that is the key to building wealth. You can get rich real easy. I don't know if you know, but today's like you really can hit rich. But where the wealth comes from is do you know what to do with it?
Facts.
And that's where the financial literacy part that we are pouring into y'all Mondays and Wednesdays and every day for our credit cleanse family members all the time. Guys, we go everywhere. We're talking about credit, even when it's supposed to be a vacation. We talking about credit.
It's a vacation.
I don't know how it gets in the conversation, but it's just to make sure that y'all are winning. When I say winning in these streets, I mean literally winning in these streets, not just for you, but for all the generations that come behind you. And it starts here. So, yeah, if you want to run up a bag, we got you all day. But if you actually want to get this and make sure that you are feeding not only your kids, but everybody else after that, we got you as well.
So look, this is what's crazy. What it took us like 2 years, three. We've been at it for like 3 years now. So what it took us like 3 years to really just like master, we are helping people in like one day. We just had somebody like start with us like 2 weeks ago, and in their first day, they got like what 30 or 40 thousand. They got like 30 or
Mhm.
40K. Do you know what we could have did with that when we first started? Like we now don't get me wrong, because we got some funding, but not just like, hey, first day, boom, just do this. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Like like that person that started, like they ain't even done yet. Matter of fact, you ain't even start yet, for real, for real. Like you ain't even started yet. And you already like, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I'm just saying. Tap in. Click
Yeah.
that link, man. Click that link.
And the crazy part is they were the ones that was like, whoo, 2000. I don't know if I could invest. And this, of course, they're on the business side, guys. So that program is way more because you get 10 to 100 times more on business side than you do on the personal side. But they was just like, and we're like, okay, if you want to invest into yourself, you really want to scale your business, then let's do it. If not, okay, just watch our lives, keep doing YouTube University, and yeah, get there. And they was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And like King said, our first coaching with them, they're already at 40K. And they was like, that's what they came wanting. I think it was
Well,
30, 40. That's what they came wanting.
actually, yeah, they wanted 40. So hold on. We got to keep it real, Kyra. We just lied to them.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, because now we said they got 40K and they didn't. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. So their first card, they got like 20, was it like 25,000?
25,000.
And then they got a charge card.
That doesn't have a
And,
limit.
yeah, technically, they ain't got no limit. So really, they didn't get 40K.
They got
They got
more.
whatever they want. Type. Got whatever they technically, that could be like 60K. I'm just, I mean,
Yeah,
but that never
yeah.
happens though, right? Like nobody ever get. Amex ain't giving nobody no 60,000.
I
Man, look, hey, click that link, man. Yo, not
now
you.
cleanse
I'm
that
talking to
credit.
you. I'm talking to you. Click the link, y'all. I'm talking to you. Don't look away. Stop smiling. Click the link.
No, guys, but definitely thank you for tuning in. Again, if you have not already, share, share, share. Tag somebody that need this information. I cannot promise you that it's going to stay on our Facebook page for more than 24 hours. I cannot promise that. So if this is somebody that's out there that needs this information, get them on here. And if you haven't already, make sure that you have your notification set when we go on here. Not only do we educate and pour into y'all, sometimes we come in here with little hacks that like, hey, go apply for this right now. We know you're going to get this.
Relax. Especially
Sometimes
when
we
it
have,
ain't
oh, sometimes we have gurus on here as well. Like we're going to start doing a little bit more of that so y'all can get educated and be well-rounded. So, hey, you want to get in trucking? All right, let's get somebody on here that's about trucking. You want to get into crypto? All right, let's get on here. But if the notifications ain't set, you're not following us or liking us, then you ain't never going to know. Sorry, you won't be winning in these streets.
Man, you know what? Kyra, this is a goal. This is a goal. We got to try to get our coach on here one time for the one time. Either for stocks or real estate or something like that. Now, look, y'all, he ain't gonna. This dude be flying private jets and whatnot, so we ain't about to get him for no full hour. We might try to get about 10, 15 minutes though. Drop some sauce. Hey, we can be grateful for that. All right. This man charged like $1,000 an hour, so I'm look. We gonna try to get him on here. I'm like, oh, I can't wait until our next coaching call. So, coach, yeah,
right. You out there with billionaire gang right now.
Real talk. We need to go. We need to go see him too. For real. But anyway, I am your bro Keem,
and I'm your girl Kyra,
and we are your Credit Cleanse family.
Yes. Make sure you click that link and book your free credit review, your mindset if you want to do it DIY, do it yourself, or business credit consultation. We there. Click it. Let's get started. Let's create this generational wealth.
Thanks. Y'all heard it, lady. Click the button.